Welcome back to another video. Thanks for watching. Today I wanted to do sort of a quick demonstration of two different things. Digital distortion, a digital amp modeler, let's say, versus an actual amp that it's modeling. So what I have here is a V-amp. I think it's made by Behringer. V-amp 3 to be exact. It's $100 on Amazon. So it's fairly inexpensive. It's got a bunch of different amp modelers versus the Fender Deluxe Reverb. And so just so you understand here, this does have cabinet modeling in it. However, I personally prefer impulse responses. And for this demonstration, I'm using the same impulse responses on the amp as I am here. So to kind of clarify, I'm running TS9 and a Rat into the V-amp on a blackface style setting, on the amp modeling setting. I just have the cabinet turned off, running this to my DAW using impulse responses in my DAW, selection impulse responses, I believe. And so when I go from that and switch to the amp, same thing, I'm going through the pedals, then going to the amp. Amp goes out through a 2 notes captor into my DAW using the same impulse responses. So effectively, it's like the same cabinet, okay? So let's, what I want to see in the comments is which one you all think is the V-amp, which one you think is the actual Fender amp. So I'll play just a quick clip of the TS9, a quick clip of the Rat, probably a clean little clip as well, and let you decide. I'd like to hear in the comments below. Let's start. So for my clean tone, here's what we got. Actually, I have my TS9 on. Here we go. All right, and TS9. Rat. All right, that's clip 1. Let's go to clip 2. And here's clip 2. So here's my clean tone. Little tube screamer on it. And the Rat. All right, so my question to you, please comment below, which one do you think is the V-amp 3 and which one do you think is the actual tube amp, the actual Fender Deluxe Reverb? The clip 1, clip 2, none of them? Let me know in your comments below, and yeah, let's see what you think. And I'll explain here in just a minute what actually is what. All right, so the answer is the first clip was the V-amp 3. The second clip was the Fender Deluxe Reverb. And again, nothing changed on the pedal settings or anything like that. I tried to set up the V-amp, the EQ, as close as I could get to sound like the amp. So you can kind of see what it's at. Basically, everything's pretty much at noon. It's got a presence on it as well. The presence is at noon as well on the V-amp 3. Now, of course, with the V-amp 3, it's $100, right? It's pretty inexpensive. It doesn't have all the features of something like a Helix or a Kemper or Fractal is going to, but you don't always need that, and you always don't also have $1,000 or more to spend on something like that, right? So you do have a ton of different amp models. There's just a ton of them. There are effects. You can get clean tones, you can get dirty tones. The effects, I believe some are pre and post. It's described in the manual, and I didn't read through all 35 pages of it, so you'll have to check that out on your own. But it does have some different effects, and it is you can control it with MIDI as well. So theoretically, you could take like the V-amp and an IR loader. It's like, I think the 2 Notes cab maybe. I think it's has MIDI on it. Something that has MIDI on it, and you could run them together if you're playing a gig somewhere, and you control it that way. So you could have like a Marshall type of distortion and match that up with a Marshall type cabinet with your impulse responses, and you have a pretty good tone. All right, so again, with a device like this, any sort of digital device, you really don't want to hit it too hard with a boost of any sort, because you'll get some nasty digital clipping, and it just generally doesn't sound good when you do that. But it's still, you know, besides that fact, it takes distortion pedals really well, overdrive pedals, all that sort of thing. It takes them really well. So let me do a quick demonstration of what happens when you run too much signal into it. I've replaced the tube screamer with basically our tumnus with a different name for right now. Here we go. Here's my clean tone. All right, let's turn that boost way up, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So if you hear it, I'm sure if you're listening to like the speakers on your phone, like the little speaker here, you probably don't hear crap. But if you're listening to with headphones or decent speakers, then you probably hear like that first attack of the note just kind of has this weird sizzle to it. That's what I'm talking about. And there are a lot of digital devices that try to eliminate that, but it's not always perfect, right? So anyways, all right, there you go. Make sure you check it out at your local retailer. I'm sure they got them. Again, under $100, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a really cool device that gets you a lot of different tones, and especially combined with the power of impulse responses that I've talked about like crazy on this channel, you can get tons of great tones. So hope you like the video. Make sure you comment below, and we'll see you next week with a new video.